All right. What's up, Automation Nation? This is Jeff Bannock, and today I have with me Josue Pena, the Instagram master. He has built a 4-step process that will take any Instagram account and be able to blow it up overnight, and he's actually going to talk about that today. The other thing he's done is develop, since he has found this process, his own Instagram account to over 4 million. That's right, 4 million followers, people. So we are honored to have him here with us today, and I'm going to turn it over to him and let you tell a little bit more about his story and how he came to be with us today.
Yeah. Hey, Jeffrey, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor, really. It's a pleasure. It's always I always baffled when people invite me to podcasts. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. As far as how it started and all that stuff. Well, I come from a Puerto Rico country, which is the Dominican Republic, and my journey, quote unquote, to entrepreneurship, it was a little bit, I'd say a little bit different than most people. I got into social media because I wanted to become a professional soccer player. That was my dream since I was 14. And my idea was if I'm not putting myself out there, nobody's going to find me. And, I needed to put myself out there. So I started, social media, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. I started putting out content and nothing was working. 4 or 5 years, just complete failure, broke. Nothing was working. And then I'm an electromechanical engineer. I graduated from that, and then I'm going through my master's in innovation and entrepreneurship. I started here in Russell Brunson, Mitchell Harper, my master's degree in business as well. And I'm what will happen if No, I have 1 master's and an electromechanical engineer degree. So
wow.
Yeah. So I started, hearing all these things about business and stuff. And I'm what will happen if I decide to take traditional business knowledge and apply it to Instagram? What's happened? And once I did that, everything just blew up. I went from I think 800 followers to growing at least 10,000 a month. And then the faster I've grown, it was 100,000 followers a month. And everything just had taken off. And then I replied, I was oh, okay, this worked in my football account, right? Which, funny enough, I did get the chance to become a pro because of my social media. But then
really?
I said no. Yeah. I had the chance through an agency. They wanted me to be at their case study, to be put me in the pros and be the case study and me showcasing in social media. And then I said no because social media was taking off. So I had more opportunity there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got to your dream per se, and you actually turned it down because you were doing so well in social media.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even doing well. I saw the potential. That's that's the funny thing. I was I got the chance, but I play semi-pro here in the States and all that good stuff. And I see the life that a professional player had, because I played against professional teams, professional players, and I wasn't going to be Messi or Ronaldo or Ronaldinho. I wasn't going to be making millions of dollars, right? So I wasn't going to be even, quote unquote, the life. I was going to be, struggling, making maybe $100K a year, maybe. And I'm and no freedom also. I like traveling, and I wasn't going to be able to travel at all. I'm is it really worth it? And that was one of the things that I'd say, do not listen to your heart. People say, oh, follow your gut. I'm screw your heart and screw your gut. Think with the head, and take calculated risks. Because if I would have listened to my heart, I wouldn't be here. I would have just gone with my passion, which was football, and I wouldn't be here. So I decided, take that down and focus 100% on Instagram and social media and what I was building, which at the time I was just growing. I wasn't monetizing. I didn't know what I had. I didn't know my value, right? So everything took off, and then I was okay, this worked for the soccer account. What will happen if I model in fitness? It worked in fitness. What happens if I model it in another language, in Spanish, in entrepreneurship in Spanish? It worked there. What happens if I model in travel? It worked there.
Wow.
So it was just working all over the place. And then I started, catching the big fish's attention. I had the first client, funny enough, I think he was worth $50 million or something. He was the CEO of a healthcare company. Which honestly, I didn't even know why he needed Instagram, but he wanted it. So that was my first client. It was a learning curve, obviously, because he was a pain in the butt. But yeah, it's crazy. And then from there, that was I remember exactly September 13th of 2016. That was my first money I made, serious money on Instagram, $3,500 a month. And then from there, a month or something later, a $10,000 deal was closed, and then a little bit over later, a $9,000 a month was closed. So between September and December, $67,000 were made, and all through agency work. It wasn't selling a course on, I was actually doing the work, and preaching was, now I teach basically.
Right.
Which is, I would say, something that I see a lot of people doing. Like they learn something and they think they're a guru. They read .com Secrets and they're like, oh, I'm Russell Brunson. No, you're not.
So well, I think one of the things that we need to point out is the fact that you have been in the trenches, as they say, and you've come up through the ranks to actually, know the ins and outs and pitfalls and help people avoid them. Because let's face it, that's why we hire a professional like you in something like that, is so that I don't have to make those same mistakes that you made, right?
Yeah. 4 or 5 years took me to get to the, figure that out. And really it's like all about modeling success. It's just like, if you know how to build a business, you will know how to build an Instagram. It's as simple as that. So like after like, I would say December, once like started everything growing, people started asking questions like, hey, teach me. I only have so many hours in the day to do consulting, right? And like, I had to build a course. Like, and I saw my ideal, like I love affiliates. So I took a bunch of different courses on Instagram and it wasn't up to par to what I wanted. So I was like, oh, God damn, I'm going to have to build a course. Like, like literally that's what I said. Like, it's a pain in the butt. I didn't want to, because like building a course, marketing, like it goes a lot into it. So I built it, launched it, and then we built a webinar, and then people were like, "Oh, you cannot fill that webinar room with Instagram traffic." I'm like, "Watch me." So like in about 48 hours, I got like 2,500 registrants, 2,525 registrants in a webinar.
Wow, that's a great. Is that your first attempt at a webinar? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, brother. That is awesome.
Yeah. So like, my webinar coach, his name is Joel Irwin, was like, "Holy crap. This is insane. I did not think it was like, I would think like you were going to say that I got 100 registrants, but you got, okay, this is insane." So obviously like I'm not a webinar guy. Like I know Instagram very well. So conversion in terms of percentage was not there. We were supposed to be 6 figures from that webinar. We made 5. Still a lot of money. Again, come from a post-war country where $1 is like 47 pesos over there. I was making 300, 400 bucks a month as an engineer, and I made 5 figures in a night. Like, so, when you put this, when you put things into perspective like that, you're balling. But I was like, God dang, I should have made 6 figures.
What do you think was the problem in your webinar that you didn't get to that 6 figure? Do you know what it was?
Yeah. So first, I forgot about the follow-up, which was it's the most simple thing ever, but I forgot about it. I did not send anything after the webinar itself.
Wow.
Like I easily would have tripled the amount of sales if that would have happened.
Sure.
Especially because like I would have leveraged. It was at the end of the year. I would have leveraged. Oh, start a new year. Starting like it would have been a lot more. But in the webinar itself, like it was like $15,000, $18,000 that were made. So it was like a 2% conversion rate, I think. Like so, we got the webinar room like 2,500 registrants. 1,000 at least were in the room, because like it maxed out at 1,000. I don't even know if it was more. And then 800 were at the pitch, like 800 at the actual pitch.
Made it to the end?
Yeah, at the end.
Wow, that's a good stay rate. 80%, that's really good, actually.
Yeah. So, and it was because like, the framing, the way you push traffic from Instagram, it was right. Like I know that part very well. So that was done right. And then, but like, it was like a 2% conversion rate. So like about 16 people bought, I think between 16 or 18 people, if I remember correctly, bought. So about like $18,000 were made, which is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I've never made that kind of money before that.
Right.
So it was great. But I was like, I should have, and then looking back, I should have done the follow-up email. I should have done work more on the messaging side of things, on the webinar itself. And so, it's a learning process. But since then, like I've like a couple webinars have been like, I think like 6 webinars, and like it has done like over $150,000. No retargeting sequence from Facebook ads, all from Instagram traffic. So people thinking that Instagram sucks. No, like it works.
No, had you ever tried anything else? Like, had you tried any other social medias before you fell in Instagram and found that's where your passion is? Or
So like, I was doing YouTube and Instagram at the same time. But the problem with YouTube before is that I was dedicating way too much time. I didn't have a process or a system to create content. So I was taking too much time for like no money. So what was one of those things that I decided to pivot to Instagram because it's simple. It literally takes me a few seconds of my day. Like once you understand everything, and like it just like there's a bunch of traffic. Just organic traffic is the hottest social media platform right now. People are on Instagram all day long, so it was just like, okay, I was seeing like all these different things. I'm like I need to get on Instagram and figure things out. And I was doing YouTube and Instagram at the same time, really. But then I dropped YouTube completely and focused on Instagram. Now I'm, coming back to YouTube now, but before, like, it was just Instagram alone. I was kind of like basically how it went.
And was there a certain point where you're like, you knew that you were going to be able to make Instagram work? Like something happened or something where you're like, wow, this is it.
Yeah. Well, it was like, for me, it was like once I started, implementing this traditional business thing, I didn't know anything about funnels before. Like I had no idea. Like I was just like model success. That was like my quote unquote epiphany, model success. And that's one of the things that, like, as content creators, like, you're so attached to your own work that you think it's like the greatest thing ever. But if you're realistic with yourself, it looks like crap, So,
Yes.
once I decided to actually take a step back and like realize that, okay, this is not working. I need a model success. I started seeing what was working, what content was working, what content was going viral, and then I was like, okay, I'm good, literally just gonna model it. Everything took off. So that was when it started taking off in terms of followers. Before, it was like all about the follower amount. I was like, I want to grow to get brand deals and whatever. I started getting free stuff, brand deals in here and there, and I'm like, okay, cool. I want to make more money now. Then I started diving into affiliates, and I then started looking into funnels and email marketing, and that's how it went. Basically, yeah.
What are the different ways that people can monetize Instagram right now? What are some ways that you recommend?
Well, I would say there are three main ones that I like do and I recommend. First off is affiliates. Affiliates is the best thing in the world because you don't have to deal with customer service. You just push traffic and collect the money.
Explain affiliates and how that works on Instagram real quick, because some people might not even know what affiliate is.
Affiliate marketing is just like when you sell somebody else's product and you collect the commission. It can be 10, 20, 30, 50, whatever percent, right? Usually, for example, if you have an e-com store, for example, let's say you have a beauty page, right? You're selling, I don't know, cosmetics or beauty. Okay. Right? Instead of you creating your own stuff, because you have to hold inventory, you have to do all the current stuff, right? Just go to a company and say, give me an affiliate commission, and you just push traffic from your Instagram over there. The one thing that I would do though is instead of pushing directly to the actual offer, you collect the information first. Like actually send them to a landing page, collect that email or a chat bot, whatever. Like ManyChat now has landing pages as well. Like collect that information whatever way you can, and then send them to the actual offer. Now I'm also working on, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm also working on developing a software for Instagram to create a chat bot on Instagram itself.
Nice.
So, I'm working with another person on that. So that's going to be powerful because like it's going to be in platform. People get a notification on their phone, they start engaging with you, a conversation, and you can send links through that as well. So you can show them the offer there too. And with Instagram stories now that you can like pre-frame the audience with a poll, then tell them to swipe up, send you a message, and then the chatbot kicks in. So it's like super seamless, that transition. And I think will work really, really well. So that's what I would do, affiliate marketing. And then like affiliate marketing applies the same thing to products and services. Instead of selling somebody else's product, you sell your own stuff. Personally, I do both. I'd like to sell obviously somebody else's product, but also my own stuff. I like to sell more somebody else's because I don't have to deal with customer service part of things. So yeah, and then
is that another way to say like an influencer per se? What's the difference between affiliate marketing? Because it sounds very similar to my experience.
Yeah. So like, for example, like an influencer is just somebody that has a bunch of followers, like somebody like, but affiliate marketing, like, I'm going to talk about later on, but you can make money on Instagram without having an Instagram, ironically.
Nice.
But I'm going to touch on that later. But like, for example, when it comes to monetization, so affiliate marketing, selling somebody else's products and services, selling your own stuff, even if you have a small following, you don't need a huge following to sell. I have students that have like less than 10,000, less than 5,000 followers and are making $3,000-$5,000 a month on Instagram. So It's definitely possible. You just have to like understand that behind each follower, there's a real person. Once you understand that, like, it's becomes super simple, right? You only need like 20 people paying you $100 or $200 a month to make, $2,000, $4,000 a month. So it's, a full sustainable income, and you can scale from there. So it's very simple once you get it like that. And then the third one that I like to do a lot in terms of monetization on Instagram is brand deals. It's simple. Like, companies will pay you money to wear clothes and stuff. Like, I actually did just a brand deal for fitness, kind of a fitness something for Black Friday, and they paid me a couple, there's a couple $100 for a picture. So it's good. It's good, easy money. And then like, obviously, like, there are also monetization. Like, you can sell accounts, you can sell likes and comments, you can sell shout outs. Obviously, you can sell clicks.
Really?
There's different ways you can monetize an Instagram account. Personally, I only do 3. So brand deals, products and services, and then affiliates. So those are the main three, because like the easiest ways, it doesn't take too much of your time. Selling likes, selling comments, selling clicks, it takes a little bit more of your time. And not like, by the way, what I mean likes and comments is not those spammy likes that you get from China.
Right.
Like the purpose of a like from a big Instagram account is that it triggers the algorithm and makes the content go viral.
Right.
So that's the purpose of a like and a comment. So those are the different ways you can monetize an Instagram account if you have one. So yeah.
And what when people are starting out their Instagram accounts and they're building one and they're trying to build like a following, what's the number one mistake that they run into or you see repeatedly that people make all the time?
They think that their content is amazing. Like that's one of the things. Like I would say, like whether you're a content creator or you're a brand and you're repurposing using user-generated content, you are thinking that your content is amazing and you don't have a distribution strategy. And you're afraid to also invest because you think you might lose. But the reality is that, and you think that Instagram doesn't work at all. And well, there's so many mistakes. I'm saying like also not putting a face behind the brand. Like if you have a brand page, people think that just growing a big following will make you money. I know countless influencers that have huge following, even bigger than mine, and aren't making any money. Why? Because they're not putting the face behind the brand. People buy people buy products or services, people buy people. So they're not taking the time to actually build a brand that people love, know, like, and trust, right?
Right.
So that's one of the things that I would say that also in the monetization aspect is one of the biggest mistakes. On the growth aspect, people think that their content is amazing and that they don't have a distribution strategy. They're not modeling success. So that's what I would say. It's the biggest mistake in each of those aspects.
So, and how can people use Instagram for their business? Like if I have a business out there, like do I just post pictures about like stuff going on, or like, I mean,
that's one of the, like, for example, that's, I would say not to do that. like think about it. Like people, first, Instagram is extremely visual. So your content needs to be visual, like appealing and engaging. Gotcha. The second thing is like, if you just post about what's going on, when was the last time somebody that you don't know asked you, how's life going?
Right.
Like, when was the last? Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares about your cat. Nobody cares about your company. Nobody cares about your employees. Nobody cares about how awesome your company culture is. Nobody cares about it. They care about what value can you bring to them. So shift the mentality, oh, let's show my day, to, hey, let's give value to the audience. So if, let's say, you're in the beauty space, right? Apart from creating amazing content and engaging content and Instagram stories and all that stuff, also create content that say, hey, beauty tips, right? I don't know, like beauty makeup tips. If you have a fitness page, I don't know, whatever. If you're marketing, as you're a marketer, give marketing tips. And like that type of content works because you're giving value to the audience. They're learning something and they will see you as an authority, even if you have a small following. If you're giving valuable content to them, it doesn't matter how big your following is. Like your following will be loyal to you. And they will love you. Like they will know you, like, and trust you, and eventually buy from you. So that's the one thing I would
post quick clips on Instagram, right? Like video clips.
Yeah.
Now, what's your take on that versus the pictures? Like, I mean,
yeah. So video is powerful. Like if your video is engaging, it will outperform pictures all day long.
Oh, good.
But on the flip side is that your video needs to be good. Like it's harder to create a good video than a good picture, because a good picture is one still frame. A video is like multiple frames. So the video needs to be good, needs to be engaging, needs to be fast, because like people are just literally just scrolling through the feed like crazy. So they need to catch people's attention. The thumbnail of the video is so important as well. Like the thumbnail as well. So for example, one little trick for the people who are hearing this is that when you create a video, at the very end, when you're editing, put a picture. And when you're posting it, scroll you can put a custom thumbnail of any part of the video. So you just scroll to the very end and just put the last frame there. Just put a picture. People will not, like, when they watch it, they will like see something like this, but it's fine because the thumbnail is what catches people's attention. Right now, for example, red circles, like a red circle on anything. Like I've seen the most ridiculous thumbnails and the video has nothing to do with it. Like I've seen like a girl with a puppy in a red circle and the video is about a car. Like,
really? Just for the grab.
The video goes viral because people are watching it thinking there's a girl with a puppy and a red circle, you know? So the red circle drives attention, like attention here. This is intriguing, whatever. There's a girl and a puppy. And then it's completely, obviously you don't want to do that because that's a little bit over the top spammy.
Right.
Yeah. The concept still applies that if you have a great thumbnail for your video, people will click on it and watch it. Same thing, for example, for pictures. Your picture should be engaging. One thing that I've seen a lot is that infographics, no matter what niche you're in, perform extremely well. And you can get like inspiration from Pinterest. Like Pinterest is all about infographics, right? But Instagram hasn't gone to that point yet. Like in fitness, infographics are popping everywhere. In beauty, like if you can create infographics, squared images, or long like images that are engaging, give value as well, and like are simple. Like you don't have to do something overly complicated that flows with the feed, you know, like good stuff. It will, you know, be great. That's one of the things that I've seen really like outperform almost anything I've seen right now. Infographics work extremely well. And also because it makes people read. That's another thing. It makes people read. And we all know that readers are buyers. So if your infographics, let's say, is talking about nutrition, right? And you're giving tips about, I don't know, how to lose weight. And then you put 10 steps to losing weight. And step number 10 is click the link in bio and buy my program. People are going to see that. Like people are going to read it. And you already gave them value. Obviously, you don't want to do that in every single post, but people are going to read it, go through that, and like they're more likely to buy your stuff because of that, because you're giving value. Infographics deliver like in a concise manner, a lot of value, basically. Nice. So you're getting a lot of value in a little bit space. People engage with it, and they will take action on whatever it is, and they read it as well. So readers are buyers, and so that's what I've seen has worked pretty well. So yeah.
Now, for something like that, would you recommend that someone send someone direct to like a sales page or to an order page, or what's your flow from that picture into your sales process?
Okay, so for example, let's say it's like you can do it both like two ways. You can directly send them to the sales page to buy. Most of the time, that will only work with lower ticket items. So anything from below like 30, 40 bucks. Anything above that is going to be a little bit tougher from Instagram to sell. That's where the funnel comes in. One thing you can do extremely well is that give away a free ebook or a free whatever, and then create a sequence in the back end where you actually sell people on that. If you want to say, let's say, sell something more expensive and higher ticket, what I would do is use Instagram Story and Instagram Live. Instagram Live is literally like a webinar. So you can do a little mini webinar on Instagram itself. And with the polls feature, you can pre-frame your audience before you actually sell them. I actually did this the other day in the Spanish account. And I was like, hey, what's up guys, whatever. I'm just creating this course in Spanish. I'll teach you blah, 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 blah. How many actually before that, like the week before, I was like, how many of you would like to know how to learn marketing and all that stuff? And that will actually pay. And like, yes or no, right? And like a bunch of people say yes. And then like the following days, like, okay, cool. I saw so many people said yes. And you can actually see the people who say yes or no. So even if you have a small following, you can actually direct message those people. Hey, I saw you said yes. You were interested in this. Is there anything I can do to help? Let's get started or whatever, right? What I did, then for a few following days, I was like, okay, cool. What would be this covers everything. This is my guarantee, all that stuff. How much would you like to enroll? Yes or no? Like a bunch of people said yes. Okay, like if I would have wanted right there, I would just message those people, send them the link, and they will buy right there. So if that's for higher ticket items, if you want to sell them, you got to talk to the audience a little bit more and pre-sell them on the actual fact of the item. So that's the way I would do it with Instagram stories. But most of the time, I would say free ebook, like free lead magnet, create a sequence to weed out the unqualified leads and just take out, like, show the offer to actually people who are interested, and then show the offer to the people who actually get at the end of the sequence. And then you can sell them a lower ticket, then get them on the webinar, higher ticket and stuff like that. Again, like the webinar I've done, like is the course before was $997, now it's $1997, and like it's everything sold through Instagram. So it works.
So speaking of good segue in there, I don't know if you meant to do that or not, but that was awesome. Yeah. So tell me about your course, and I know you have a book that you actually wanted to give everybody out. What's the link for that book?
Yeah, so the ebook is called Crushing It on Instagram, the blueprint to your first 100,000 followers. So people can get it at crushingitinstagram.com. So the course, like literally, like for example, covers like the one I have, it covers like everything from A to Z. So content creation, even growth hacking, like how to actually grow. The fastest I've grown like 100,000 in 30 days. I'm thinking of doing a case study, 100,000 in 48 hours. I know I can do it. I don't know if I should because people will not believe it, but we'll see. But like everything's laid there. It depends like how aggressive you want the strategy. Like the strategy is there. It works whether you want to grow 100K in 30 days, 100K in 6 months, or 100K in 48 hours. It just is there depending on how you want to do it, how aggressive, it's there, the growth hacking and everything when it comes to Instagram, how to build a loyal audience, how to build a brand. And then on the back end of that, then the monetization section, which is honestly my favorite thing because I don't care about followers now. I care about, building a business and business that I built with money. So, how to push traffic from Instagram, how to monetize your following, even with a small following, how to, fill your webinar up, e-commerce, drop shipping, digital products, services, you name it. Like it's all there. It's laid out a step-by-step process. Like it's literally like simple because like I've done it in multiple industries with clients and all that good stuff. So everything is laid there like in a silver platter basically. So the growth, monetization section, everything is there for the taking. That's kind of like basically I will say a basic overview of the course itself.
So if I came in totally like knowing nothing about Instagram at all, this would teach me how to grow my following and actually how to make money with it?
Yeah. Awesome. It will even teach you how to make money with Instagram without actually having an Instagram, which is ironic. I don't know. And like I will just say how to do it. It's just influencer marketing. Like that's it. Like for example, you pay Facebook for Facebook ads, right? Why? Because they have 2 billion users on their platform, right? So instead of paying Facebook, you pay an influencer. That's basically kind of down the line. So an influencer, I cannot say how cheap they are. Like the other day I got in fitness, I got 11.4 million, the total reach for a client, and my ad spent was $500.
Wow.
And it was 11.4 million. Obviously, like I know how to negotiate, and everything's in the course. Again, I know how to negotiate. I know how to frame my offer, how to talk to the influencer. I know how to leverage different things. But yeah, people get access to everything. And on top of that, I forgot to mention, they also get access to a network. Like a big part of growing on Instagram is a network, right? Right now, my network is over between 200 to 300 million followers. So they get access to that for free as well. So again, like there's literally like, it's almost like a dummy proof process. Like, cause like there's literally no way people will fail. Like right now, I think the refund rate, like I've had one refund from over, I'd say 200 students. And it was a guy that said, "Oh, I bought the course and now I'm traveling. I cannot take it." I'm like, "Nah, dude, like you have like, you take it after you travel." So that was like, yeah. So like right now, like, I have over like 210 testimonials. People like grow like from scratch. Like in 3 months, I think like right now, Alex Wilkie has like 150,000 followers in 3 months. And like in the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks in starting, zero idea, like zero, like ground zero. He started. He was like making $3,500 a month. He closed a couple clients because we also teach like the agency side of things because I also build an agency to 6 figures. So we also dive into the agency side of things, how to use Instagram to build an agency, all that good stuff. So like there's a lot you can do.
The course?
Yeah.
That's everything that you mentioned in your course.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome, brother. That sounds like I'm gonna have to talk about hooking me up after this.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, they're happy to.
What is the link for that? Anybody that's interested in that?
Yeah. So it's IGMMcourse.com. It's called Instagram Mastery and Monetization. I might change the name just for branding purposes. For now is that. And if people want to take the webinar, it's IGBoss.com. So
IGBoss. Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. So people can just go like IGBoss.com and they can like check it out, see the webinar there, and see if it's right for them. And if again, like I've worked like I met you and the ClickFunnels event. I was invited there because of Instagram. I have Russell Brunson's personal email. He asked me with Instagram stuff. We've helped Gary Vee, Ty Lopez. Like Ty Lopez and Gary Vee has used our network to grow to the point to where they are now. And you Fuseliya. I also work with Ronaldinho. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a really, really famous soccer player. He's like a god in like the soccer world. So I met him in Miami. I helped him promote his app on Instagram as well. So I worked out also in Grant Cardone's TV show twice. So I've been all over the place because of Instagram. Yeah.
Cool, man.
So it's been fun. It's been fun.
So before we wrap everything up here, do you have a favorite hack or tip or trick that you could give my listeners to help on Instagram so they could grow their
Yeah.
following, their business?
Yeah, sure thing. So what I would say is know the difference between branding and selling. Like there's a huge difference. If when you're going into Instagram, you have to know what your main goal is. So let's say you are starting Instagram today. If you want to start selling, that's short term, and I would use influencer marketing to do that, like 100%. If you want to be branding and think long term and actually build your digital real estate, then I will go and start building, like creating, like there's 4 pillars to Instagram: content, consistency, market research, and networking. Those are literally the only 4 things you got to do. So create great content, be consistent about it, post between 3 and 6 times per day, depending on your account. If you're a personal account, I would, drop it to 1 or 2 because it's harder to create content. If you're a brand, you can create 3 to 6.
Is that what you recommend? 3 to 6? Yeah. Is that the golden number?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, the golden number is the more you post, the more you grow. Like I know friends like that are posting 17 times a day and they're growing 5,000 followers to 10,000 followers a day just because of that. So yeah. So imagine like the amount of leads and traffic you can bring from that. The more you post, the more you grow. That's consistency every single day. Then market research, knowing what your influencers and competitors are doing, knowing what's working, what content works, what hashtags to use, how to do the call to actions, how to talk to your audience, how the audience is responding to that emotionally, all that good stuff. If you're like, for example, if you look at a page called Humans of New York, they literally create blog posts on every single post. But maybe that's not your style, right? Maybe you want a short, sweet captions. So there's no right or wrong, either one, right? If you want to stay blog posts on your Instagram, stay consistent with it. If you want to stay short and to the point, be consistent with it, because people are going to get used to that. And if you put a freaking long one, if you're spreading all shorts, people are not going to read it, right? People are going to like more than likely just scroll past and just say like, okay, this guy's spamming my feed, So if literally just apply those 4 things, like quote unquote hack, if you want to grow really quickly: content, consistency, market research, and networking with other people, other accounts in the same niche, and just promoting each other and liking each other's stuff is gonna like create a ripple effect in the algorithm. Like if I have 100,000 followers and you have 1,000, we're in the same niche. We already know that my audience is interested in your stuff because we're in the same industry. And if I like your stuff, my followers are going to see your content in their phone. So it's going to create a ripple effect in the algorithm. And it also going to say Instagram that your content is great because a high authority account, aka 100,000 followers, you should like and comment on your stuff. So create a ripple effect there as well. So that's the networking part. And imagine if you have, 3, 4, 5 accounts doing that same thing, it creates a huge snowball effect and you can grow extremely quick. Like if people people don't realize, if they literally just think like those 4 things, like content, consistency, market research, and networking, in 3 months, you can be sitting at 150,000 followers, no problem. Like there's like multiple students I've done it myself. So I know it works 100%, no matter the industry. I think I've even sold live animals through Instagram, like freaking mini pigs and like guns and like the gun, everything. Like unless you're selling like elevators to hospitals, it's not gonna work for you. Like so, yeah. That's like kind of like growth hack when it comes to like growing, thinking long term. Make sure that you deliver value to your audience, and if you want to sell directly, like right from the get go, I would just use influencer marketing. And make sure make sure that your content is sharp. If you're doing influencer marketing, your ad that you're putting on that page needs to be good, needs to be engaging, needs to be catching people's attention. Preferably a video, because the video is catches people's attention for longer, or an infographic like I mentioned before. So, and if you're doing an Instagram story, put your freaking face behind the brand, please. Like, do not put a picture like on Instagram stories. I see like people trying to sell a freaking, let's say, a fitness program. They put a picture of the fitness program. Like, nah, dude, like, come on. Like, nobody cares about the freaking fitness program. Sell me the results. Like, show me your freaking abs. Like show me doing pull-ups or something, right? If you do that, people are going to buy a lot more of that than a stupid freaking picture of an ebook,
Those are great nuggets, man. That's awesome. Those are really good nuggets. I appreciate that. Hey, real quick question. You mentioned hashtags. How much do those play? Because I feel that Instagram, compared to other social medias, that's more important. Is that right?
Yeah. So hashtags are important. As a general rule, I'd say 9 times out of 10 use hashtags, because they are a great starting point, especially if you have a low budget. They can invest like in a network or in influencers and stuff like that. A hashtag would get you going. You can grow without hashtags. That's I'm not saying you cannot grow without them. I've done them without them. But hashtags are like just keywords that tell Instagram what your content is about. And you need to make sure you use keywords that you can rank in. So let's say if you use the hashtag love and you have a relationship account, hashtag love has over 2 billion users, like 2 billion posts. Like you will never rank in that thing ever. So instead of using the hashtag love, try using, I don't know, hashtag relationship love, you know, same concept, but maybe that hashtag has 500,000 instead of 2 billion, and you can rank in the 500,000. So just making sure that you can rank in the top 9 of a specific hashtag is where the gold is, basically, when it comes to the hashtag. Hashtags are keywords that tell Instagram what your content is about. And I, you know, 9 times out of 10, I strongly suggest everybody to use them. But that doesn't say, like, if you, let's say, it's like, okay, I want to ramp things up. Like, you don't even need to use hashtag really, but if you have the budget to invest in a network and you actually know what you're doing, but 9 times out of 10 people don't. So use hashtags. Like, you get 30, use 30. And that's basically it. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I really appreciate you being with us on today. There's some really good information. I know people are going to take away some value bombs from this. So thank you again so much for your time. And with that, we're going to wrap everything up. I want to thank you, Automation Nation, for your time, and keep those automations rolling.